Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa. Thanks for joining me here on my website or YouTube channel for another card tutorial. In this video, I'm sharing a few last-minute Christmas cards that you can easily mass produce using a simple step-by-step method. Here's a quick look at a few of the products I'll be using. 3D gold letters from the 2019 Simon Says Grab Box, Tailored Expressions Boughs and Berries background stamp, along with the Simon Says stamp Tiny Words Christmas Sentiments. So I'll be using a few other products along with these, and I'll be sure to link those below and over on my website as well. So I've sprayed the back of a stencil with pixie dust, and I'm going to let it dry for about a minute before I start to position it on my card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So I'm using Memento ink in the color Paris Dusk and soft navy cardstock from Simon Says, but you can easily use any inks and cardstocks you have available to you. I'm using a wide stripe stencil from the Honeybee Stamps Plaid Building Set, along with a blender brush to apply the ink directly to this cardstock. I want a subtle tone-on-tone look for the base of my cards. So I went ahead and I created all my card bases in this first step. I'm going to set these aside for now, and then we'll move on to the next step. So in this second step, I'm going to stamp and heat emboss all the panels for the cards. I start by positioning the stamp in the MISTI and then laying a piece of cardstock down and covering it with anti-static powder. I'm using VersaMagic embossing ink to stamp this background image several times, just making sure I don't miss any areas. I always feel like it's better to take the extra steps here rather than after I add the embossing powder and realize I missed areas while stamping. So then next I'm going to add some gold embossing powder to the image, making sure to cover that whole image. And then I'm going to go in with a preheated heat gun to melt that embossing powder. So you're going to notice as soon as I start to put the heat to the embossing powder, it's going to start melting. And that's exactly what you want. The less time the heat is in contact with the paper, the less warping you'll have. And you're going to see I'm just chasing that melting powder with the gun until it becomes shiny and dimensional. I do want to tell you that I have a silicone mat down on my work surface that's protecting it right now. It's heat resistant up to 436 degrees. And then here's a quick look at all the panels that I did. I love this background stamp. It's so pretty and festive. It's perfect for the holidays. So the next step, I'm just going to run these through a die cut machine with a rectangle die. Now you can use any dies that you have available. It doesn't have to be a rectangle. I'm also going to use my colored pencils to add a little bit of color to these. You can skip this if you want to. So I want to take a second and let you guys know that I was inspired by Jana Smakula. She has amazing cards. I love to watch her create, and she does beautiful color palettes for a more modern look. So I just wanted to let you guys know she's the inspiration behind the cards today. So then we're going to go ahead and start doing some ink blending on these edges. And what we're going to do is take a blender brush and start applying the inks on the outer edges with a heavy pressure. As we move inward, we're going to lighten that pressure up. Now, you don't want to go all the way in, just part of the way. And then I just take my brush and run it kind of in an oval shape in the center there to soften up any hard lines and just give me a nice soft blend. So just take a rag, wipe off any of that excess ink that's sitting on top of your embossed areas. Then I used repositionable tape so that I could temporarily center this panel onto my card base because I want to do a frame around that. So I'm using a T ruler and a gold gel pen. So just let your gel pen do the work for you. Just let it glide across your paper. Don't press down on it. If you do, it's going to skip and it's going to leave indentions in your card. I'm adding 3D mounting foam to the back of the panel. I'm going to peel off the paper backing and then adhere it to the card base, making sure to center it in that gold frame I created with the gel pen. I'm going to take a T ruler and center the 3D gold letters on the card to create a two-part sentiment, merry and bright. So I'm going to stamp the rest of the sentiment and bright onto a piece of that soft navy cardstock using the same ink, Paris Dusk, and the tiny words Christmas sentiment from Simon Says. I only want to stamp the and bright from this sentiment stamp. So I'm using the edge of my ink pad instead of masking off the stamp, and then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those two words. I'm going to create a sentiment strip using my paper trimmer, and then I add mounting foam to the strip and then adhere it right below that gold merry sentiment. So now I have my full sentiment there that reads merry and bright. I'm going to finish these off with some red, gold, and green sequins, and I'm going to hold those in place with Ranger's glossy accents. And then I'm going to give you a close-up of a few of the cards. So I made 6 cards in 2 hours, start to finish, using this step-by-step method where you do all your card bases and then you create all of the embossed panels and then you assemble those and then assemble or add your sentiments and then your embellishments. So I do believe that's a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed joining me and that you were inspired to head into your crafty space and create something amazing today. I do hope you'll hit the subscribe button and click the bell to be notified of new content to my channel. And if you could hit that like button, that would be awesome. I want to encourage you to leave any comments or suggestions below. Also, be sure to subscribe to the website where you can find videos, blog posts, and a few free printables, tips and tricks that may help in your card making adventures. As always, know I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, keep crafting.